Hello and welcome back to the Real Estate Unlimited podcast. My name's Sierra Simons.
Brian Schuby.
Carrie Steele.
Bill Jones.
And we're the Jones Home Team.
And this is episode 77. We're doing a little bit on the fly. So I'm talking to your boy, Jason Oppenheimer here.
Love
so
him.
I had to call him up. Actually, I had to kind of look down a little bit just so we could make eye contact, just so we'd be on the same page. But he's got a lot of opinions about all this Compass stuff and, the listing stuff. So a lot of reading, sorry, but he had some pretty good opinions and thoughts. But Shub, what you covering?
Yeah, I'm getting into inspections and the importance of disclosure. So I got a little bit of a story I heard
sweet.
from a lender. So,
Carrie?
I'm going to talk about the IBS show and some cool products.
Sierra,
That's
what do we?
so ominous.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Stick around.
I'm going to talk about possibly living at the Ritz Carlton.
Ooh.
Oh, sweet. You are? Perfect.
Maybe.
Sweet.
Big
So
moves.
we're at Billy Joel's last week. Now we're at the Ritz Carlton this week.
Let's
so.
go.
All right. Who wants to kick us
International.
off?
I'll go
Any
first.
takers? All right, Kara, what do we got?
Sierra.
Oh, Sierra. Sorry. I wasn't looking. I just heard voices in my head. So.
Okay, so I'm going to talk about Ritz Carlton. They are actually going to be opening up residences to be purchased for the first time in that brand's history. And this is the Ritz Carlton in Houston.
Ooh, Houston. Okay.
Yeah. So
I guess I didn't realize there
perfect.
was more Ritz Carltons. Is there multiples of them?
Oh,
Yeah.
Must be. Okay.
Yeah, they're like
just
everywhere.
living under a rock, apparently. Okay.
Yeah, not an international superstar like me.
Right. Jason didn't tell me about it when we talked, so.
I'm sure you and Billy Joel have frequented a few.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
right.
yeah, that's my dog. So yeah, they are going to be starting a project on a new build for one of these. It'll be starting soon. It's estimated to be completed by fall of 2029, which is actually just a few years from now, which is crazy to think. And so they'll have condos available.
Dear Lord, like one of these would be.
I think something like that. Yeah.
Wow.
They actually have one that's available to preview. That's a $5 million one. They're starting at $3 million, but they'll range from $3 million to $30+ million.
So I could
Now,
get a
is
couple
that-
of them if I wanted.
Is it
Yeah,
already
probably.
done and they're converting it from
No,
the
I think
hotel
they're-
to,
So they're
or
building
they're
it that
just
way.
building
Yeah,
it
they're
that
building
way?
a new one.
Okay.
Yeah, so like this is from the model ones of it, which it looks very beautiful, very.
It just looks like a painting of us, guys.
It does
if I'm
look
paying
like a-
$30 million, I better be looking down on everybody for my bathtub.
So yeah, they'll all range from 33 to 30 million plus in price, 2 to 4 bedrooms, 23. Let me try that again. 2,360 square feet to 9,800 square feet in size, which is crazy.
Yeah.
That's
9,800?
about
Yeah, that's a
huge.
pretty
That's
big
for a
big
condo.
place.
That's crazy.
That's his
I'm
big
guessing
house.
that's multiple floors.
Probably. That's got to
Right.
be a
I would
ton.
think so. Yeah.
Yeah, so quite the range there.
I mean, yeah, that's like this whole 3 floors
Yeah.
probably of the top there. That's wild.
Yeah, and that's just all your place. So yeah, they have an estimated 27,000 square feet of residential amenities planned. So I mean, obviously you're going to be paying a pretty penny to live at a place like this. They're going to be giving you all the bells and whistles to go on top of it and make it exclusive as possible while still being in a building. And several of them have already been pre-sold.
Sure.
Prior to the building.
I'm sure that was probably
Going up.
part of it, like having to have them pre-sold. I wonder how many of the wealthy people actually use those amenities,
Right, I
or
don't-
if they
don't
go
know.
like off to a private,
Right, like how many of them, or is this just where they vacation or they have work there or
or
whatever?
they have one. Yeah, that's only one of their condos when they're in Houston, when they fly to Houston for business.
Right, right.
Yeah, I'm going to just buy a $30 million place because I'm there twice a year
Yeah.
kind of thing. If you get that kind of money, I wonder what
Right off.
what's the HOA fee
Oh
for
my
that?
gosh!
Like people
right?
around here complain about
Imagine.
couple $100 a month. The HOA's got to
Oh
be
my
like
God.
Insane.
a mansion in
Yeah.
our area, I'm sure.
I
So
bet.
that's insane. I can't
So,
even.
yeah.
I'm glad there's half of the world or part of the world that lives like that because I guess we all have something to aspire to. But I wouldn't even want to live in that.
Right.
If you made me, sure, Shub, if you buy it for me, I'd live there. But like, I would have zero interest in living in that building. I guess that's just what you
All the
get
way up and
growing up in rural Ohio, probably.
Right.
I'm like wondering who your neighbors are, because there's going to be like some, high-end executives, CEOs,
Sure.
people like
Right,
that. The
yeah.
connections you would build. That's where my head goes. But
have
yeah,
to
to live there
imagine-
full time.
like I would be concerned about security and everything. Like how does all of that run?
I mean, if T
I-
Swift has a place there, I'm pretty sure they're going to make sure that is locked down.
right,
Right.
right.
I don't know, $30 million, I'm moving to an island or buying an island probably.
Right.
I don't
For
know if
real.
I'm
Yeah.
moving into that then. I mean,
I
it looks
concur.
cool, but.
I concur.
So I wonder if, well, we were talking about last week, money laundering. So you're
Yeah.
paying cash. You got to go through all the hoops to get through that to get it bought. So, and I'm sure, I don't know, you walk into a bank and like, I want to buy a $30 million, 9,000 square foot at the Ritz Carlton. What kind of financing options do we have here? Like,
Yeah. Do you own the land it's on? No, it's just, and I have an HOA fee
And
as
my
well.
HOA fee is $7,000 a month
Right.
Right.
for full-time everything.
Oh my gosh, I just can't imagine.
Wow.
No, that's wild. That's cool though. So there's multiple. I guess I always just saw the Ritz Carlton. There was like the one. I didn't realize there was
I know
a
there's
bunch of
one
them then.
in Amelia
so,
Island. I know there's one on Key Biscayne. I'm sure there's one in Miami or area,
Probably,
that
right.
area.
Well, what was I watching? I think it was like one of the housewives on Traders or something was saying, like, when I vacation, I vacation at the Ritz Carlton. Like, I don't
Yeah.
go glamping like that.
Glamping. Yeah. That's
So
wild.
yeah, I think they're everywhere.
That wouldn't even show up in my Google search. It's like,
No,
oh, where are we staying at
same.
this weekend, honey? We're going to a cheer conference, Carlton, or
Yeah.
the Red Roof Inn. Where are we going? So, all right, cool. Who's next?
I'll go next.
All right, cool.
Talking about my IBS.
your IBS.
So the 2026 International Building Show, if you are wondering what the acronym stood for, that actually just took place. It travels. So it's been just a couple weeks ago that was in Orlando, Florida. And this is a big convention that features some of the top building innovators. They come from over 100 countries. So there was I forget what they said, 70,000 people that attended this building show. But they showcase all of these different products, and it is one of the largest light construction shows in the world, if not the largest. This year had a lot of cool products. I did watch the entire YouTube series of what they had featured this year, and there were some cool products that I could have talked about, but it's actually the 2025 Best in Show product that I actually want to talk about today. So this one is talking about the 26. I mean, you can visit that on YouTube and look that up and learn all about that. But this product is the 2025 Best in Show. It's an overhead garage door. And you can switch. And what makes that really unique is that this was all based on an innovative, groundbreaking discovery of being able to preserve and save that overhead space.
So I was just looking at it. Does it kind of fold up within that box up top there?
Yes.
Okay.
So the panel sounds like it's so passionate about garage doors.
I know you're so excited about.
I
didn't know
was
garage doors were
actually
your
geeking
thing.
out.
Yeah.
I said, Bobby, what should I talk about on the podcast? And he said this and this and this. And I said, oh my gosh, we've literally talked about all these different things. And he's like,
You know what we
well,
haven't talked about is garage
he said
doors.
there's this garage door that the panels somehow split and go up in. I'm like, what are you talking about? And he's like, no, here, come look at
Yeah,
this.
that's
And
pretty
then
neat.
so then I get locked in on this IBS show and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is so cool, all these products, and apparently this happens every year. And so I'm like, oh my god, Bobby, we got to figure out where they're at next year because we have to go to this, because I am literally geeking out on these different products. So this garage door, what makes it unique obviously is the space saving designs, but the panels stack vertically, so they go above the opening, and so you have this wide unobstructed entryway. There's no visible tracks. You get those ugly garage door track lines that come up and over the ceiling, and perhaps you want to do a loft, or you want an open feel, or maybe you even have it open to the top floor of some sort of a loft storage. This makes it maybe not more cost effective, but it definitely give you, if you're in a scrunched area, and I immediately start thinking about, big city design where you literally have only the square footage you have to work with and every square inch counts, that gives you just that much more in your garage. Maybe you're storing a bike above or something
Which
like
that's
that.
funny you say, because in my garage, same thing. All this space is just you can't utilize
use
it. Then.
No, and especially if you have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I mean, if you're a car enthusiast and you have a luxurious garage and you've got the money to spend, why not have those clean lines so you don't have the cables and the hinges and the tracks crowding the space. So I thought this was great. Again, this was the 2025 product Best in Show from this International Building Show. I don't know what the 26 was yet, but the 2027, it probably was. I don't know how long it takes them to come out with the voting, because they just had the show, so maybe I'll have to do some research on that. But
That looks like a cool show to go to, though.
Yeah,
that would be
see?
freaking cool.
That's what I'm saying. I was geeking out on it. So the 2027 IBS show.
Not irritable out.
I
You're
can't.
like, can you say it?
International Builder Show. is going to be in Las Vegas, February 2nd through the 4th.
Shoot.
If in
Too bad
27,
it didn't. Yeah, too
Yeah.
bad it didn't back up with the R4 convention because that
we
would
just
be
have to stay
really
for an extra
cool.
Yeah,
month.
I guess
Just
a
have to stay
whole
there for a whole month.
Whole
We'd all be
month.
broke and
Vegas.
bored. And, yeah.
Well, maybe we could just go to California for a few weeks and then go back or go to the mountains.
Sounds wonderful. But that garage door, though, too, like it looks cool. I don't know. To me, this is one more thing, like stuff like that. I'm like an old man now. There's just more stuff that's going to break.
More
It's
that's
going to
gonna
break. Yeah, like that thing, because I've had zero issues with my garage doors in 7 years.
Knock
so
on wood.
I just can't
No.
imagine. Yeah, and I won't be able to get in as soon as I get home. But I just see all those. I don't even know how it operates, but I'm just using my imagination how it just cramps up in there.
And I think honestly, you're only dealing with a certain level of clientele when you're looking at this. So this isn't going to be your everyday garage,
Right.
that you're building. We just talked about Wayne Homes, Keovini, and some of those kind of,
Right.
cookie cutter home builders aren't going to probably want to offer. This is going to be a
just like a Ritz Carlton house you're just talking about,
Yeah.
I'm pulling my Lambo in there. I need some more overhead room.
There you
so,
go.
That's
there
cool.
you go. But I do think, garage enthusiasts or somebody that extra space is important definitely would consider that
Yeah.
space over money.
That's pretty cool. Well, they got my vote. I didn't get to vote, but I would have voted for them. But
Well, I
would
didn't even know about the International Building Show, and now I know about it, and now I'm excited about it. I
That-
feel like there's
About time,
more
yes.
products, more services. Like, what do you have?
See, I would geek out on
I
that,
wanna
but
know.
this would be like taking Kelly to Lowe's. And I'll be like, let's go to Lowe's, where you guys might
Oh,
do the same
man.
thing. And I'll just be staring at parts. And she's like, oh my God, like, what are we doing? I'm like, I have to figure out what I'm
Yeah.
buying. Like, you're just staring at the same stuff for 30 minutes. I'm like, you
I'm
don't know what you're doing.
Literally, I'm okay until we get into like plumbing or
Yes.
HVAC. Then I kind of
Yeah,
blank out a
stuff that I
little.
don't
It's
know-
not that I'm
yeah.
not necessarily
Yeah, the stuff
interested.
that's
I just
not
don't know
important at
enough.
all. It's not.
Oh, it's so important. I just don't know enough about it. Anyway.
All the intricacies and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And sorry, I feel like I'm screaming, but
Oh,
I'm so
worries.
passionate about garage doors.
You're very passionate about garage doors. I appreciate that. So
We need a new garage door. Maybe this is like
I'll
God
just
telling
put you
me.
right onto it
Yeah.
then.
And apparently they've seen our garage because they know we need the extra
You
space.
need the overhead storage.
Shuby's
so.
driven by. He knows.
All right. Shub, what do you got?
Yeah, just I guess real quick, wanted to go over a story that I had heard during a law continuing education class the other day, and I know I told a couple of you guys, I don't know if Sierra heard it or not, but the importance of disclosing what you know even after, or updating disclosures even after an inspection's been completed and more stuff may have been brought to your knowledge. A lender was telling a story that he had a client that they had purchased a home, and after they had closed on the home, they had found the previous buyer's home inspection report at the house on top of one of the kitchen cabinets, and they went back and none of those items had been disclosed to them. And
Oh,
It gets
they
better. Wait, it gets better. It
They
gets better.
never went and updated the
Property disclosures.
So the buyers had hired the same home inspector to come back and do a brand new inspection on the home, and that old inspection lined up almost identical with the new inspection, that none of those items had been repaired or fixed.
They sue 'em?
And took the sellers to court. And this is, from my understanding of what he said, this is still an ongoing lawsuit. The seller has tried to make 3 or 4 different settlements, and the buyer has turned it down and is requesting that it go to a jury. So that way they could see what the jury thinks they should be awarded. I'm guessing they did not like the numbers that the previous homeowner was
Or they just
offering.
really want to make a point.
Or
I
yeah,
guess,
or they really just
Yeah.
want to make it a point. So as an agent, I think, again, it sucks
sucks
having
for
to go
the
back and
agent,
do
yeah.
it. Because
Because they don't even have any skin in the game other than, hey, this is supposed to be disclosed. If they don't disclose it or they don't update that residential property form.
However, I guess from that standpoint, that agent more than likely also, again, unless it wasn't told, or I guess you need to make that known.
Maybe it was a new
during that-
agent too. I've had people
during
do
that
Oh,
time.
talk about doing this
sure.
stuff like that. Well, if I just fire you and hire another agent, then I'm like, well, you still know
You still
of the
know.
issue.
Right.
That's
I'm guessing it was the same agent, because he said the agent was also kind of screwed as well.
Right.
Yeah.
So I think, again, just if you are aware of something, whether
Mm-hmm.
you're even if you're just an agent, it is so important that you disclose that to a potential purchaser. And if the seller, and then he kind of even went into, if the seller's like, hey, we don't want you to disclose that, or we want you to hide that, at that point you need to say, well, I have to disclose that, or
Or I can't represent you.
I can't represent you. Yeah.
Yep. So,
Which I had one that was kind of like that, where they were like, "Oh, there's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong." I'm like, "Well, I take it off the market. Then I don't know what to tell you because I can't, in good faith know that you know this and you're not disclosing it."
Yeah, there's clearly something wrong.
So just something to, I guess as an agent, to keep in the back of your mind. If you're aware of something or you receive an inspection report that shows a deficiency, you need to disclose that. Even if the seller says, hey, we don't want you to disclose that, it still needs to be disclosed. So
Yeah. That makes me think of those like laundry list of items when a buyer comes forward and they're like, we want these 27 items addressed. And maybe they don't even look at it. Maybe they click in .loop or they look at the thing real quick and they're like, that's unreasonable. Let's move on to the next offer. And technically they saw it, but did they see it enough to be able to say that 27 items are wrong?
Yeah.
Like my head's automatically going, I'm going down a rabbit hole, but like
the report or not though. Cause the buyer could just say, I want this fixed, this
Oh,
fixed,
that's true. They would have to send 27 pages of these are the items.
The buyer could say, I want you to fix whatever they want. But until the licensed contractor or the licensed inspector has the report and they send those pages that belong to it, then it's not.
Even still, though, I mean, I've had buyers that are like, bleep it, I'm not even looking at it. Like, I'm rejecting their offer, basically. And maybe they clicked on it for 2 seconds and maybe they didn't read through it, but then that becomes like a gray
Bill
area.
And I remember we had that question that you had called. I think you had called the state.
And
the state said that if you receive the report, it's under reason to believe that
you've
received it and you have viewed it. So.
Yeah, because what was the circumstances with that then? So
they gave the full freaking report.
So
That's what
the agent never saw the report, nor did the seller actually see the report, but the other agent sent it. So they just said, imagine you're sitting in front of the jury, judge, whatever. A reasonable person would assume that you looked at the report. So even if you had to go prove that you didn't see it somehow, you didn't click on it. I don't know how you even do that. I'm sure there's a way, but show you didn't do it. But even then, a jury's going to say, why were you avoiding opening this? Like you obviously received it. Maybe you didn't open it, but like you're just, ignorance isn't bliss, just because you don't know. If you choose to not know something, doesn't make it better. So that's scary. I don't know. But going back to like what you were saying, like just because I know some sellers get scared of disclosing things or putting that out there, but that doesn't mean you have to. The house doesn't need to be perfect. You're not building a new house. Even if you are building a new house, it's not going to be flawless. There's going to be things wrong with it.
You can acknowledge it and say, I'm not fixing it.
Yeah.
I acknowledge that the front left downspout leaks or something. And no, I'm not going to put the extension on it. You can go to Lowe's and buy one for $20 and call it a day.
But
period.
if your contract falls apart, you need to update your
That's
RPD.
true.
Or provide.
Or text the next agent and be like, hey, this whatever.
If you receive the report, hey, here's what we have with the information we have. So.
Yeah, at that point, if you're that agent and the buyer already kind of gave you the report, then like I feel like I would just be sending the whole report.
Oh, of course.
To any other
You're like,
agent.
hey,
That's
it's already been done.
Putting in an offer.
If you got it then too. So
a lot of times you don't even get it.
I think the other side, the agent was also kind of screwed because yes, the buyer found that the report at the house. However, I think that report was initially also sent to the agent, and the agent also didn't disclose. So I think that's where they're. I don't know who it is or anything like that, but I'm guessing that's assuming that's also why they're kind of in hot water. So
probably, and then that's a whole rabbit hole we can go to. Is like who owns the report, what can you actually use a report for, and things like that. Like they make it pretty clear. Like if you're using someone else's report that you didn't pay for, that's not yours to be able to utilize as an actual home inspection report. But to the point of the whole story, they knew the issues. They knew there was a problem.
Especially if you're the agent, you know the issues, and you know because the seller's sitting there and hey, what do we need to do? And if the agent says, oh, don't worry about it, or hey, I'm not gonna here, you don't need to worry about updating the disclosure, that you're also now the agent's kind of dictating what's disclosed and what's not. Even the seller, what's the seller supposed to do? They don't have the direct information for the buyers. So
it's a takeaway. I guess every seller we talk to, you're better to disclose than not disclose. You know, even if it's just a once in a blue moon thing that happens, or especially if you have a laundry list of things.
And it's
then
hard
leaving
to keep
the
up
report.
with. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Especially if you have a turd of a
crazy.
house and there's like 50 million
Yeah.
things wrong. It's like
Yes.
everything's wrong. Just assume everything's wrong and everything's broken and nothing works, right?
Yeah, no,
I want to know like how extensive the issues were.
I'm
Like
not sure,
if they
yeah.
were
Yeah, if
really,
they're
really bad and that's why they're
Covers on
pushing
electrical
this,
boxes, or are they like
or if they're just like pissed off and that's
Yeah.
why they're pushing it. Like
yeah, it's different. Yeah, was the faucet leaking or is there a foundation issue in termites? You know, that's a whole different
Right.
kind of ball game. But yeah,
Yep.
them denying the settlements, it's either, I think you said it, either not enough or they know they got them
Mm-hmm.
and they're looking for their pound of flesh, I guess. So, ooh,
it's wild.
you don't want to be them. So disclose, just
Yeah.
disclose, just
Disclose,
just get it out
disclose.
there, even if it's
and
something
there's so
silly.
many like old school buyers too that are like, I'm not saying anything. It's like you
Oh, the
have
sell-
to
yeah,
like
like
old
the-
school, yeah, like
Well,
they're
that's
just like
the
there's
one guy.
nothing.
Isn't it buyer
Literally,
beware,
they've
you
lived
know?
there. They've lived there for 80 years. Nothing's ever been broken. Nothing's ever
not
been
once,
repaired.
yeah.
Nothing's ever been
Well, I
fixed.
fix everything that goes
Okay.
wrong. I fix it, but I mean, yeah, they're still. If within the last 5 years, I guess we could talk about this forever.
Yeah.
But most of the stuff was within 5 years. Been
Yeah.
within 5 years, but no,
Nope,
if you fix it
nothing.
in 1942 and it hasn't been an issue
Yeah,
since,
but
you probably don't need
5
to disclose
years.
it.
You know what? If there's a homeowner out there that hasn't done any repairs and
Right.
nothing's broken 5 years, well, who built your house?
God
Because
bless
I
'em,
wanna.
yeah.
Yeah.
They live at the Ritz Carlton
Yeah.
for $30 million. So.
They have somebody fix it for them.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah, that's
All
right.
All right, well, I'm probably someone who probably does live at the Ritz Carlton. My boy Jason Oppenheimer here. So you probably recognize him from Selling Sunset and what other ones is it?
Selling OC.
Selling OC or whatever. So I usually don't give a whole lot of credence to the whatever you want to call them.
TV
TV
celebrity
personalities,
or
things like
whatever,
that.
yeah.
But he's an actual operator. I mean, this is a real dude. It's kind of like
The real deal.
Ryan Serhant in New York. I mean, he's kind of a clown, kind of whatever, but does huge deals. I mean, he was in $1 Million Listing or Agent or whatever in New York, but they know what they're doing. They actually are in the industry. They sell the real estate. They're actual players and operators, and that's how I kind of feel with Jason. First time I saw it, and they're all coming in their high heels. I'm like, oh my god, like what is this show? But dude, he sells some real estate, and he knows what he's talking about, and he has got a lot of kind of good insight on this. So going back to my favorite Compass, Redfin, private listings, all this kind of stuff then too. I had about 14 articles. I just won't let this one die, I guess. But it seems like most agents, I won't read all this. I got plenty to read, so I'm going to skip through a lot of this. Kind of the wait and see. We've talked about this before. How does this affect us agents? How does this affect the consumer? I don't know. I have no idea. I see us going down a path where it's not going to be good for any of us. I think it's really going to change, not to watch the last few episodes. That's all I've talked about, like what's going on with that. Again, Compass partnering with Redfin, who was purchased by Rocket, and it's these companies that were against private listings. Now they're for private listings, and how this all kind of plays out. And I'm getting to Jason here. And some states are looking at some laws. We'll come back to this to see if they're going to ban kind of these private listings. So they're kind of preemptively getting ahead of this. So my good friend, Jason Oppenheimer, I couldn't get him on the phone, so I had to read his article. So
Oppenheimer was the movie.
Oppenheim, sorry. Yes. Yes. So I'm such good friends with him, I don't even know his name. So thank you. Because what's their company name? It's
The Oppenheim Group.
Oppenheimer Group. The Oppenheim Group. Thank you.
Oppenheim Group.
So he's got a lot of strong opinions here. So if you ever watch the show, I'm sure can imagine here. So with the stroke of a pen last week, the Compass CEO Robert Reffkin initiated a campaign to threaten further, the balance of power there is in real estate. Everything kind of going on. So they made this massive syndication, which I think was a 3-year deal that they put together with Redfin. Compass is attempting to build what looks like an exclusive shadow, as he calls it, shadow MLS, or kind of a private network. So a parallel housing market where buyers are kept in the dark, competing brokerages are starved of inventory, and the only true winner appears to be Compass, is the bottom line. So like we've talked before, I don't think they're trying to hide what this looks like or, how their inventory. I think it's still available to us agents. Again, we don't have any Compass people around here that are really, like one or two maybe, but not that big of a deal. But I think it's still available. It's just not readily available on their private things. So going back to Reffkin, so who is the Compass guy, and they're Reffkin, the CEO of Compass, and the Redfin Alliance. They have this virtuous banner of seller choice. So again, they're pitching this whole thing. And again, watch the last couple episodes with their 3-phase marketing things, stuff like that. But you're basically just hiding your days on market. So they kind of have that approach with this. So Historically, Compass has marketed the private exclusive as a security measure for high net worth individuals and sellers navigating a divorce who want to keep their floor plans, and all their priceless valuables and Ming vases. When they're living in Ritz Carlton, they don't want that all over the internet for us,
Right, that's fair.
normies to go look at all their fancy stuff, I guess. So that was kind of the thing, if you're which to me makes sense.
That's security.
Yeah, if
like even lower income.
Yeah.
Or lower priced homes. Like when you go into some of those like Google Maps tours or all that
Right.
stuff, like you can see everything.
You can see a lot,
see a
yeah.
child's bedroom. You can see a kitchen door entry if it's fenced in. If there's a dog nearby, like there's quite a bit of information you're giving away.
You can see it all.
I
then,
can
too.
understand that.
Especially with the 3D tours and stuff that we all do. But
I don't have any mink stoles or nice vases.
same,
but
same. You want to come get my kids' toys and pick them up off the floor, please. Take them. Take all you want. They're all yours. So that was kind of the sales pitch with that. These high-end listings, which
Yeah.
to me makes sense, but now they're just kind of using it as another level to their coming soon thing. So Compass frequently defends this practice by claiming sellers simply need a grace period to paint the living room, build anticipation without punishing or, adding more
Yeah.
days on market. Again, I think he talks about this here then too. That's what coming soon is. So pretty much MLS has a coming soon option where you can put a picture of the front of the house or whatever you want to say, it's coming soon. We're still working on the home. So the traditional MLS already solved this. Under National Association of Realtors Clear Cooperation Policy, the MLS provides a coming soon status designed for exactly that purpose. So they're kind of reinventing an issue here. So it allows the sellers to build hype, prep their homes without accruing days on market, while still keeping the property within the fair, transparent, and broadly accessible open market. Again, it shows up on Zillow, Realtor.com, our website, everyone else's website. So Compass isn't inventing a solution for sellers. They're ignoring an existing one so they can hoard all the data in-house. So this is Jason Oppenheim's opinion, not mine, but I agree with him. With everything he's saying here. It's a step backwards for fair housing. So perhaps the most dangerous consequence of Compass's strategy is a potential impact on housing equity. The open MLS system was designed to democratize real estate and ensure that every buyer has equal access and availability to all the homes. So Redfin, again, used to brand themselves as they wanted open and transparent. They were against these private networks. Now suddenly, when there's millions or billions of dollars on stake, they swallow that and they love it. They want the more private
that
listings, the
doesn't
better.
apply to me.
Yeah, no. So
And what a more appropriate time to be talking about this,
I know,
too, considering
right?
that the new fair housing disclosure is coming out in
Yeah.
a month and all the
Yep.
things, like they're
Yeah.
cracking down on that. And then that is a great point of view to look at it by
yeah.
if you're hiding it, it's not equal for everyone.
Right. So, and again, just where intentional or not everybody's going to know to go. Like when Revkin said, hey, we're doing this, the whole world didn't suddenly gain the knowledge like, well, crap. Okay, yeah, I need to go to Compass's website. It's going to take forever to get.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but couldn't they still do a pocket listing?
Yeah. I mean,
So
there's
what would prevent them from just
'cause
marketing
it's
that?
a
I
whole-
know what it is.
Yeah.
But I'm saying like,
this whole thing. Well, no, we think it is that they're trying to hoard the
Yeah,
inventory,
yeah.
hoard the data. They're
Yeah.
saying, no, it's just another option. This is great for our sellers. Why
Sure.
wouldn't you want to do this? So they're using it as again, his words, recruiting weapon. They're trying to get, hey, come on board to Compass. The double end strategy, to your point, Carrie, I think where you're getting at, like they're looking to double end a lot of these deals. And you're starving the competition out. So we're technically their competition. We're not with that brokerage. So is that starving us out? But I talked an episode or 2 episodes ago then too. I think AI will fix a lot of this. I don't think I think it's still going to hurt Zillow no matter what in those platforms because something's going to be invented. I would love to say I can invent it and make the next $1 billion thing. I'm trying, but we'll see what happens. But something eventually will go scrape all these websites. If that's where we go, I think something will get figured out with that. So I'll try to get through this. I think you're kind of going with this, Sierra. So the Department of Justice, our friends here, they love their class action lawsuits. So they love going after anti-competitive behavior. So I don't know anything that's much more anti-competitive than this. It seems to kind of fit the bill. And he kind of puts us in too. So if you're one of those agents, he's saying in quotes, just following company policy is not a defense. So if I'm a Compass agent, the Department of Justice shows up, serves you with some subpoena. Hey, you're getting sued, class action lawsuit. I'm just following. Revkin said I'm good. We're doing a good thing for our clients. Well, too bad. You're going down with that. I'm sure if they decide to look into that. So Compass's new Redfin loophole is not about giving sellers flexibility. It's about weaponizing a seller's equity to build an anti-competitive machine that locks out vulnerable buyers. So again, it's just going to kind of limit what people are going to see. So it's time we stop calling it a private exclusive and start calling it exactly what it is: the death of fair and transparent housing market. Period. My boy Jason Oppenheim.
8. No crumbs.
So who's going to look to outlaw this? So I haven't actually read through this article here yet. I'll just go to the highlights. So Wisconsin's got a bill, Act 69, that they're looking to put into place. Washington, 6091. Connecticut, Hawaii, Illinois. That must be it so far. So if
those are like Chicago. I mean, I've seen like these big,
Well, I'm not surprised at all
areas.
that Hawaii's in that too, because they already have so many issues with the natives not even being able to purchase their land because it is so highly priced, and I'm sure they don't want any more exclusivity than there already is.
No, so those states will be, that was what, 4 or 5 of them, so I can't imagine other states aren't going to follow suit if they have. What again, too, I guess it's a whole nother, debate then. Is it up to the state to decide how our MLSs work, or maybe that's not the angle they're going for? Just what fair housing, is that just what needs to happen to make sure everybody has accessibility to that? But how is it not accessible? As long as it's on somebody's website somewhere, who's to say it has to be easy? I mean, that's kind of where I'm getting at with that. Like,
there's definitely even houses around here that are not accessible despite being visible to the market,
Right. So I don't know how I hate when government has to come up. I feel like we have already lost. If we're waiting on these senators and congressmen to come up with the right solution to how real estate should be marketed and who has access to it, who has access to the information, I don't know. I'm not sure.
Yeah. Who's to say the congressmen are not the ones that don't want their freaking house out there for everybody to see? I mean,
I don't know. So I don't know where it all goes.
Don't shoot. I'm just saying, like.
So again, I don't know what the solution is. I don't know what the answer is, but it's all kind of up in the air. I mean, it just seems like Reffkin is just throwing jet fuel on this fire, and he's really digging into, like, he's kind of declared war on the MLS is kind of my take on it.
If not him, somebody was going to anyway. So
right, for sure, eventually. So I'm not saying Zillow's got to be the winner, Realtor.com's got to be the winner. I mean, but I think us and consumers have all just gotten used to accessing these websites, and it does make it easy. But apparently, a senator near you is going to decide what's right and what's wrong, I guess, as far as what that's going to look like. So, you got anything else? Good. Nope. So, how do we tour a Ritz Carlton? What's the closest one? Yeah, I kind of want to go see one of those. Arrange a tour.
We're going to need a pre-approval letter or proof of funds.
That's going to be. I'll just say I'm a cash buyer.
Yep. Right. Bring your mattress money.
I'm just a cash buyer. I'll sign any
suitcase.
Paperwork you want. We're good. So, all right, that is episode. What was that? 77? Is that what we're on? I think so. Sure, why not? I guess it's in the details. Check it out then. All the links, everything we're talking about, being show descriptions. Like, share, do all the things, and we'll see you next time.